All right, guys, I am Chrissy Mueller, your Triple Diamond Upline, and I am so excited to talk about Ruby with you guys tonight. This is the foundation of our business. If you know how to get to Ruby, you know how to get to Ambassador. So I'm excited to talk to you guys about this, not only Ruby, but so many tips on gathering the loyal customers and distributors and how to expand your market and all that good stuff. So I'm going to let Amber kind of take it off and go with her favorite topic first. Make sure she's unmuted there this time.
Hello. Okay, can you hear me?
You're good. All yours.
All right, guys. I am Amber Crow, Double Diamond Leader, and I wanted to talk with you guys tonight about expanding your network. One of the reasons that I chose to talk about this topic tonight is because it's one of the hardest things for me to do. So I think talking about it and bouncing ideas off of each other are great ways of getting over your fear and stepping outside the box. So one of the things to me that is really important in this business is making sure when you think about your dream team and what you want your team to look like, make sure that you're thinking of a variety of people. Don't necessarily, look for a certain type of person that fits your life. Look for a diverse group, different ages, different genders, different races. I think having a diverse group is so important because you can spread your team out where you're not just in one town. You're spreading out in different areas and different countries and different cities. And it really helps you to expand your team and to grow faster. So when you are talking to potentials and when you're following new people on Instagram, don't be scared to step outside of your comfort zone. Chrissy and I even spoke one time about different countries that, we would try to target and talk to. And it's hard for some of them if you have different, languages, because you have to try to translate and things like that. So that can be more difficult. But, even looking at, into Canada and things like that, it's such a great way to meet new people. You can learn a lot about people. You can really grow relationships that way. So to me, that's really important. So make sure that you're stepping outside the box a little bit when you are targeting, potential distributors. Another thing that I think is huge is finding people that you can relate to. The Facebook groups for they have Facebook groups now for everything. Anything that you do as hobbies, being a mom, being a Christian, being a woman, being someone that likes to walk or work out or kayak or fish. I mean, you name it. Anything you like, there's Facebook groups available now for. So go join those groups, like things, comment on things, get to know people, and then you can friend those people on Facebook and start real relationships. And then bring in It Works into it. Slowly tell people what It Works is doing in your life and what it can, what it can offer them. So that's a great way to really expand your market. Another thing that is huge is parties. You can go into a party needing hundreds of BV, to fill a chart, and you leave one party. If you had 10 people come and half of them show up, 5 big orders, and you can complete your
only change 2 things
for BV for that.
I have to look at it.
You can really take advantage of parties. Invite, anyone and everyone that could use $100 a month. There's just so many ways to step out now. There's so many new ways of doing parties that people are finding that really kind of steps it up instead of just inviting someone to come and rap. So have fun with it. Get out and try new things with that. Also, the online parties are really taking off well. I know Chrissy does one. Is it every month, or are you doing every other week now?
It kind of depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll do them once a month, and sometimes I'll do it every other week. So, I mean, it just whatever I feel like doing that week. Yeah.
And those are huge. You can, if you don't want to do your own yet, or if you're not comfortable, you can invite your potentials to Chrissy. She's doing them for us. Invite your potentials, send them a private message letting them know that you have invited them, what you've invited them to, and that you'd be happy to answer any questions they have. And then after, the wrap party is over, check back in with them. Ask, what did you think? What can I answer any questions for you? Things like that. Also, make sure that you're throwing launch parties for your new distributors. As soon as they sign up, go ahead within the next week or two and have a date book, have a party, date booked and on the calendars, and make sure they're go ahead and calling people or setting up a Facebook event to invite their potential customers to. And the last thing is what I struggle with the most, and I have been challenging myself with the last few months, is blitzing. Blitzing is huge because it shows that you're sure of yourself and you're sure of this business. If you believe in the products that we have available and you believe in what this business can do for you, it's not going to be hard for you to offer it to someone else. So make sure that you're sharing this with people. My rule of thumb now is if you hand someone money, hand them a Blitz card. That's so simple. And it almost holds you accountable. So if you're paying a cashier, you're paying your waitress or anything else, just say, hey, do you mind if I give you this coupon? You're not asking them to buy anything. You're offering them a coupon. Who turns the coupon down? So, you don't have to make it about, hey, can I tell you all about this crazy wrap? Just offer them a coupon. Let them look at it. Say, have you ever heard of that before? Keep it light. Leave them with it. If they seem interested, say, I like to say, do you have Facebook? And right then and there, say, find yourself on Facebook. They can find themselves, friend themselves, and then you go write their name down and you have them, now you have a contact on Facebook that you can go back in the next couple of days and just, say, hey, how you doing? Have you thought any more, about our conversation or just start a relationship with them. So anyways, blitzing is huge. And I think challenging yourself is really important because that's what I have to do. So I say like on Monday, or you could start today. I don't know what's today, Thursday. You could start today and say by the end of the weekend, I'm going to challenge myself to blitz at least 10 strangers. And that's really not hard. I mean, that's 3 a day. So everywhere you go, just, hey, do you mind if I hand you this coupon? Can I tell you a little bit about what I do? Can I tell you what I have to offer? So I challenge you guys to get out there and do that and have fun with it. People love, meeting other people, and they love having a good opportunity handed to them. So good luck.
That was perfect. I don't even have anything I want to add to it. Lindsay, are you on, my dear?
Hello. I'm here.
Let's hear it, woman. What you got for us?
All right. So my topic tonight for you girls, guys, I want to talk a little bit about being thoughtful. We all know the word thoughtful. My husband often says, Lindsay, how are you thoughtful on social media? It's really simple if you stop and think about it. But all of us start out and we're wanting to post all over Facebook because we want to get this out there. But there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. The way not to do it is by going and finding those pre-made salesy ads and blowing up your newsfeed with a bunch of unthoughtful pictures that everybody's already seen on someone else's Instagram or Facebook 2,000 times. And when they see it, they immediately are like, bum, nope. They might even delete you at that point because they're like, she just wants to sell something to me. So the way to do it, though, I'm going to teach you how. So what you want to do is you kind of want to start using these products yourself. The best way to sell the products and not actually have to sell is to be a product of the product and start using them yourself and getting results. So what I like to do is pick products out each month. And when I first started, there was, of course, all these things I had never used. So I would pick a few things and put them in my ADBV auto shipment, which is super important for us to each be doing each month. I mean, the company definitely is not just trying to make more money off of us by making us have an auto shipment to be commission qualified. It is so we can sell these products. I mean, if you don't know what they do for you, how are you expected to be able to help someone else? So what I like to do is pick a few things, and then I will use them and get my results and have some pictures and things and stories for myself to share. It's not selling when you actually believe in the product. So when I started out, Mike immediately was like, well, I could lose some weight. So we put him on like a 90-day challenge. And I picked out a few things that I thought he could use and that would work for him. And he started using them. We had some amazing before and after pictures. And I still use them to this day, even though, I mean, we probably should update and maybe take some more because he's lost even more weight at this point. But putting those out there, you would not believe the amount of people drawn to that, because we weren't posting someone else's that we didn't saying, hey, check this out. It was his. So first of all, be a product of the product. Use these things and put it out there. Don't be afraid to share your results, because you definitely, each of you, whether you lose 2 pounds or 20 pounds, that's awesome. I mean, there's people out there looking for something like that. So do that. Also, I want to say, just be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Don't watch any other leader on your team and try to be them. Because when you do that, people are they're gonna realize that that's not Lindsay. Like, she's not acting like herself. She's not being her crazy, goofy self. Be you, be real, and just people will want to, as long as you're excited and being yourself, follow you, and they want to join you. So that's super important. The other thing is, when you're talking about things, we always say make a lifestyle post versus posting a salesy ad that says, try my wraps. You can get 4 wraps for $59. I need 5 people. Don't do that. Post a picture of you, maybe even wearing a wrap or holding up the wraps, and say, I'm looking for someone who'd like to try these wraps, and I can get you one at my cost. Something like that. Not so salesy. So when I started, I know that a lot of it, or when you start, you don't really have a story. People think, well, yes, you do. You have a story. You have a story to tell. So if you, let's say, just started and you hadn't even made your first paycheck yet, but maybe you sold a box of wraps. If you sold a box of wraps, you just made $75. Do you know how many people out there, if they could make an extra $75 a week, how that would help their family? So maybe you post on your Facebook, look, today I sold this box of wraps. You hold them up. I just made money to pay for my groceries. I'm so thankful for this company for providing groceries for my family for the week. Or I'm so thankful that I can go now and get a manicure, pedicure, and my hair done. Where used to, you were struggling to be able to afford those kind of extra things in life. But don't just think that those small things aren't big things, because the small things are what people are looking for. A lot of times people say, well, you've made these good bonuses, so that's why people want to join your team. No, actually, people don't even, when you say I made a $10,000 bonus, people look at you like you're nuts. So it's I made $75 on a box of wraps that people are like, that's real. That's real. Like, I could do that. So people just relate to that a whole lot more. And if you put that out there, you would not believe the response you would have. I have a bunch of notes here. Let's see if I forgot anything. So the other thing, when you're posting on your Facebook, don't just post about It Works. Like, don't all of a sudden go from being you to just It Works. You want to also post about your family. What's going on in your life? Last week I was at the beach with my husband celebrating our anniversary, and let me tell you, I made sure everyone knew I was on vacation, because a lot of people don't have that luxury of being able to go off and do those things. So show them what's going on in your life, the excitement and things that are going on, because people want that. Also, sometimes I might be sitting behind this computer right here with my hair, I hadn't washed in 2 days and no makeup on. And well, we were talking about this earlier, Amber, and everybody smelling a little raunchy. Glad y'all can't smell us tonight, right, Amber? But when you're sitting behind your computer and you feel like, well, nobody wants to see this, what am I going to do? Take a snapshot of myself and say I look like junk today? And no, we have pictures that we've taken like prior, like get dressed up one day and take a whole bunch of selfies, change your shirt like 50 times, hold up different products. You're good to go. You've got posts for like 2 months. So post that picture and, make a post that way. So not every day that I post a picture did it happen right then and there. Other than, I was going to say, incorporating your life is basically what I'm trying to say. Like, the most thoughtful thing to do is to reach out to people and not just say, I need somebody on my team, but I want to help you. So if you're making a post, don't just say, I need 10 people. I need this. Nobody wants to join your team because you need them. They want to join your team because they see the passion behind just the way you post, by you saying, I want to help you. I really am passionate about these products. This company has changed my life, and this is what it's done. So that's all I got.
You're like the queen of that topic. I love it. You killed it, woman. All righty. Crystal, you on here, miss?
I'm here.
All right. Take it over.
Had to finish up that wrap party for us. By the way, it blew up at the end. Like, there are a lot of comments. There's a lot of people signing up in the next day or two. So
I have a ton of notifications that I have to go through because.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, you do. Your name got tagged at least once or twice, but it's awesome. So I don't know about you guys, but I get like such a high off of doing those. I seriously love being involved in our wrap parties. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about how to, not necessarily specifically how to seal the deal of getting loyals and distributors, but I'm going to talk about just like how to make those contacts, how to really like connect with people and whatnot. I think a big thing you need to remember is that you don't have to take like 10 minutes and work your business. You don't have to take an hour and work your business. If you just gradually learn how to incorporate this business into your life, you don't have to, yes, you need to sit down and you need to make a post and you need to comment on some stuff and you need to follow some people and that kind of thing. But at the same time, if you incorporate this into your life, so the people you talk to, using the products, when you go out in public, wearing your green. I have a green shirt on. I do love green, so I wear it all the time anyways, but I wear my It Works gear everywhere. And I'm sorry if you guys hear weird sound effects. My husband decided to be all crafty tonight and he's doing a project in the garage and the windows are open. So anyhow, but going like just every little bit of what you do, you go through the line at the checkout and you make sure you give that Blitz card to that person. Going through the drive-through, you get your coffee in the morning, whatever you do, try to bring the business with you. That I think is such a big thing that I think a lot of us have learned, that we feel like at the beginning, it's like, okay, I'm going to take the next 10 minutes and I'm going to work my business. And then the rest of the day, we're not It Works distributors and we don't live this life. And I think gradually, like all of a sudden, I realized, oh my goodness, like I do this 24/7. I have a job still, but I work this 24/7. Good thing my bosses that sit right next to me don't always notice how much I'm actually on my cell phone. So, but going out and finding those people. So making those contacts, being positive all the time, as much as sometimes you have to fake that, but being excited about what you have your hands on too. So, like simply if you're drinking your greens, I know Lindsay talked about doing posts and whatnot, but take a picture of you drinking those greens. But also, you know, somebody was saying how I was talking to one of my girls the other day and they were like, oh, I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, this is what you need to do though, to bring your business with you. It's not that you have to walk in and say, hey, I'm a KnitWorks distributor and give Blitz cards to everybody. But if you show up wearing your It Works t-shirt and maybe you have a cup with greens in it, or if you have dinner and then you pop out your fat fighters, it's just incorporating that all into your life and people start seeing it and they ask questions. So it's not always about cold calls and, you know, those posts and what we make, but it's actually incorporating it into what we do. So another question that actually I talked about with some of my team last night was about how to bring it up sometimes, you know, whenever you're talking about the opportunity, where a lot of us, you know, it's pretty easy most of the time to bring up the products because, you know, they come up with, they're complaining about an issue or, you know, whatever. They see you using your products and they ask questions. But then you're like, how do I tie the business into that? So my favorite one is the first time they tell you that they don't have money to buy the products, or they need to wait until their next paycheck to buy the products. Really think about this because, I mean, I know we're all here to make money, but really, honestly, should you not have $50 left at the end of your paycheck? Like, isn't that a bigger issue than wanting to use these products? I think about that. Think about what happens when people don't have $50 at the end of their paycheck and they get a flat tire. You know, it goes on the credit card. So that's where I bring this up with people. And, you know, they tell me, well, you know what, can I wait until next paycheck? And I'm like, well, hey, you know, if money is an issue for you, always know that there's an opportunity with these products as well. That's what I'm doing. You know, I'm changing my life and my family's life by using this or by working this business. And a lot of people are like, oh, really? You know, can you share a little bit more? And I'm not saying they're necessarily going to jump, but they're definitely going to ask you questions about it. So it's something to think about. If anything, it keeps the conversation going. So I'm trying to make sure I get through all the list of what, like, we talked about before. So I keep checking my phone. Hopefully it doesn't die on me. I'm down to a few percent at this point. So the other big thing is like I said, how you like wear this business. You know, you take it with you everywhere you go. So always be talking about it. Have that shirt on, have your Blitz cards with you, that kind of thing. But, you know, when your mouth is open, your business is open. If you are not talking about this business, if you're not talking about our products, if you're, you know, just going, I mean, posts that you make on social media, that whole thing, that is talking about, you know, that's letting everybody know that you're still doing this, that you haven't quit yet, right? So you need to be letting people know that. I mean, I don't know how many people I have followed on Instagram, and I might be following them for 2 months before I find out that they're a DT. And I'm like, seriously? How did I not know this already? Like, you know, I look at everybody before I follow them. So I'm like, you obviously don't post about your business very often if it took me that long to figure it out. So always, always, always have your mouth open, have your storefront open, right? Because if you have a brick and mortar business, you got to have the front door open. You have to be there to be working your business. Can't open it up once or twice a month and think that they're going to, you know, do good, right? So you have to keep that mouth open. You have to be talking to people all the time about it. What else here? I think another thing, and I kind of tied in whenever I was talking about like using the products and whatnot, but be a product of the product. And by sharing your passion for these products, I mean, I can go through the whole list, and actually whenever I've done this with my team, when people have asked about products and whatnot, it's kind of funny because I always get like so like energized, and I think my voice gets louder and I get all hyped up whenever I'm talking about the products because I get so excited about them because I know how much they have seriously changed my life and so many people around me. Like, I look at Chrissy. I know so many products that have helped her. Stomach issues she's had, her extreme skin, sensitivities, all that kind of stuff. Being around her, I'm like, I know what these have done for her. And because of what it's done for her, that made me start using the skincare products, a couple years ago. And so, but getting into those and being that product of a product, people are going to see you using them. I mean, you go to my desk at work, you can walk around my department of 100 people and find my desk without my name tag. Because I'm the one with the product sitting on my desk. I have my bag of chews. I have my cans of greens. I have my defining gel. I have my stretch mark cream. I use my stretch mark cream for my hand lotion every day. Washing my hands all the time. I always am applying that. So people see that. So they're like, hey, what's this? How do you use that? I always get questions to this day. So, Chris, was that good? Did I kind of I didn't go directly on gathering, but definitely wearing it. So
that was perfect. I loved it. Yeah. So do you have anything else want to add, or are you good?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. I get to talk about charting now. But before I go into the charting, I'll make sure my video is big since I'm going to be sharing my screen. Okay. Since I'm talking about charting, but before I go into that, I want to talk about the importance of Ruby. And like I said at the very beginning of this Zoom, that it is the foundation of our business. Ruby should be all of your guys' goal. Ruby should be the goal for every distributor that you bring into this business. Okay. And the reason I say that is if you know how to get to Ruby, you can get to Ambassador. Because the moment you hit Ruby, you're going to teach your team to hit Ruby. And your team is going to teach their team to hit Ruby. And they're going to teach their team to hit Ruby. And think about the snowball effect of that right there, of just teaching people to get to Ruby. That's it. All we need to do is teach people to get to Ruby. If you guys aren't muted, make sure you're muting yourself. I think we have a little bit of background noise going on there. If not, maybe I'm just hearing things. I think you guys are all muted. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. Okay, can you guys see my screen now? Lindsay or Crystal, give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Your guys were the only faces I could see. Alrighty, charting to Ruby. So, okay, I do hear a little bit of background noise, so I'm going to go through and make sure you guys are all muted. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so charting to Ruby, and what I mean by charting, whenever you go into your, let me go back there. Whenever you go into your eSuite, you're gonna wanna go to Documents, and then in your documents, you're gonna search for Ruby, and at the very bottom of that, you're gonna be able to see a Ruby chart. And I'm gonna actually show you what a Ruby chart looks like on here, but we're gonna start out with actually just charting to executive and how to move on from charting from executive to Ruby. So before I go into that, I'm gonna go into just a little bit of terminology. This might be extremely simple for some of you if you've been in for a little bit longer, but I wanna make sure I go over it. So on your chart, you're going to notice a term GV. And what GV means, it is a group volume of everybody in that organization. So that means for myself, my group volume would be all of you guys. That would be everybody on the team page. That is my GV. That is my group volume, combined total of everybody, all of their customer and distributor orders. Okay, now PBV. You're going to see this whenever you're seeing commission qualified. So PBV is the total of all of your personal orders and your loyal customers and distributor, or loyal customer and retail customer orders for the month. So PBV stands for your personal bonus volume. And then you're going to see leg. So you'll see that group volume is a combined total of everyone in that leg. So I'm a leg, say, for my sister, Alicia. So I'm a leg. And let's just say you sign 2 distributors and you keep them directly underneath of you, you now have 2 legs. So legs are just, like if you look in your tree view, you're going to see people organized by legs. A qualified leg is a distributor who has 400 group volume. So my group volume is over 400, so I would be considered a qualified leg. So if you ever see QL, qualified leg, that just means a distributor with 400 GV. And an executive is made up of 2 qualified legs. Now, commission qualified, this is a month-by-month basis. Every single month, you want to make sure you are commission qualified by the 31st of the month. As long as you are commission qualified by the end of the month, you're going to make commissions off of all of the orders for that entire month. So let's just say you enrolled a loyal customer on the 1st of the month. Your account probably says not commission qualified, but as long as you get yourself commission qualified by the end of the month, you're going to make commissions off of that loyal customer's order that month. So there's 2 ways that you can be commission qualified. You can do that with an 80 BV auto ship. Any products you want, wraps and greens will get you over 80 BV. Or you can get to 150 PBV, which is going to be the sum of all of your loyal customers' orders. So each month you just want to make sure you're commission qualified. Definitely check that out before the end of the month, because you don't want the end of the month to come by and you're not commission qualified. Because if you're not commission qualified, you're not going to be able to get a paycheck that following month. So commission qualified is a huge deal. And if you want to promote, you've got to be commission qualified. Okay, so a couple tips when charting. Like I said, you're gonna want to go to your eSuite. You're going to log in, go to your documents, search for the Ruby chart. If you're just starting out or you haven't promoted to Ruby yet, Ruby should be your goal. That is your goal for right now. And then once you hit Ruby, we're going to move on to Emerald. But search for your chart. You're going to want to print it out and use a pencil instead of a pen. And I will explain why a pencil is a little bit easier than using a pen whenever I show you how to chart here in a little bit. You're going to want to update your chart weekly with numbers, which is the volumes of your distributors, to kind of see where they're at and where you stand for the month on promoting. And there's a few different reports you can use in the eSuite, but my favorite ones to use is Tree Viewer. So once you're logged in, you're going to go to reports up at the top. You're going to hit Tree View, and that'll give you all of your distributors, and you're going to be able to see what their volume is. Or you can go to volume total by distributor, and you can see what each distributor in your organization, what their group volume is. Okay, so like I said a while ago, an executive chart is made up of 2 qualified legs, which is 2 legs with 400 GV. So whenever you see these boxes, that represents distributors. And the 400 GV under those boxes is what represents loyal customers. So let's just say you signed a new distributor and her name is Mary. You're going to go ahead and write Mary in one of those white boxes. And then you went and you signed Susan. So now you have your boxes filled for executive, and the only thing you need to work on is the GV, 400 GV. Now, this is why teaching our steps to success to our team members is so important. Your new distributor, the moment they sign up, you want to let them know their first goal. And that first goal is getting 4 loyal customers. So for them getting 4 loyal customers, that's going to grow their group volume. So this is where I say going to your reports and getting your volume total by distributor or your tree viewer is important, because you want to keep track of what their GV is. So let's say right now, Mary is at 108. I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to write 108 right above her box right there. And Susan's at 54. So I'm going to write 54 right above her box there. So I know that Mary and Susan both need a push for getting a couple more loyal customers this month. That way you can promote to executive. Okay, so now let's say, don't ask me why it's drawing on the screen here. Let's say Mary got her 4 loyal customers and a few more, and she's at 400. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a highlighter and I'm going to highlight Mary's name. I want to know that she's done. She's at 400 GV. I don't need to worry about her this month, okay? Then we're going to go to Susan, and she's at 346. Now, we know that she's 54 GV away from promoting, or I'm sorry, 54 GV away from being a 400 box, which is also called a qualified leg. Now, I signed up a new loyal customer today who ordered a box of wraps, and that was 54 BV. You, as Susan's leader, can actually place that loyal customer under Susan, and it's going to boost Susan's group volume to 400. I highlighted her name because she's at 400, and now that both Mary and Susan at 400, they're going to promote to, or I'm going to promote to executive. We hit executive, we got our congratulations, we're excited, but now it's time to move on. We want to get our $500 bonus, and you want to move on to Ruby. So you can see here that Ruby consists of an executive, what we just went over. And then it also consists of 2 400 GV boxes. So now earlier, whenever I referred to legs, these are legs right here. Mary would be a leg, Susan would be a leg, and Sarah would be a leg. So as a Ruby, you have 3 different legs. And then Mary, as an executive, has 2 legs. All right. Now, this is where you're going to track their volumes again. You're going to go in your eSuite, go to your tree view or your volume total by distributor, and you're going to write down what their group volume is. So we don't need to pay attention to Mary's because she's going to be executive. The only thing we want to pay attention for with Mary is that she's going to be commission qualified this month. Susan, she's at 108. Sarah's at 54. James is at 246. But I also know that I need another distributor. So let's just say I sign up another distributor before Mary does. I can sign up my distributor on my website, and she's in my website, but I can actually place her under Mary. So that way I would box myself in because I know I'm one distributor away from being boxed in for my Ruby promotion. So I went ahead, I signed up Tiffany. I got her placed in that box right there. Okay. Now it's mid-month. I'm updating my numbers. Susan is at 400, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight her box. That way I know she's taken care of. Sarah's at 216. James is at 370, and Tiffany's at 54. Guys, if you aren't muted, go ahead and mute yourself. That way we don't hear any background noise. All right, so we're going to go ahead and keep track of everyone's volumes. All right, so I got Sarah to 400. I helped her get her 4 loyal customers, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight her name. We got James. We taught him to get his 4 loyal customers, and he got 400 group volume. I did the same for Tiffany. I told Mary, you need to make sure you're teaching Tiffany to get those 4 loyal customers, and she got to 400. So now that I've got my focus of these 400 boxes are there, they're highlighted, we're good. Mary's commission qualified, which means that I just promoted to Ruby. It's that simple, guys. Let me stop my screen share. It is that simple of just teaching your team how to get to Ruby because you got to Ruby. Now all you've got to do is teach your team to get to Ruby. It's literally, that's all it is. Filling out that chart. I keep my Ruby chart or any chart that I have for my team members. I keep them with me everywhere I go. I'm updating those numbers weekly. I'm making sure that I'm adding in new distributors on those empty boxes whenever they're added to the team. So I'm keeping track of everything that's going on in my organization. Let me go ahead and, okay, sorry, something popped up on my screen there. Do you guys have any questions on, there we go. Do you have any questions on charting, on how to filling in the names or how to fill in the boxes or anything of the reports in your eSuite as far as helping charting? If you do, you can unmute yourself. If not, we're good. Good, perfect. All right, so that's all I really wanted to go over as far as charting. Really have Ruby be your goal. I want every single one of you to have a Ruby chart out, filled out, working on it, updating those numbers for May, because all of you can do that. Every single one of you can do it. And if you don't hit Ruby in the time that you feel like you needed to hit Ruby by, guess what, guys? It took me a year and a half to promote to Ruby. A year and a half to promote to Ruby. A lot of people get that in their first month or their first 3 months or their first 6 months, and it took me a year and a half. But guess what? I'm still here today, and that does not make me any less of a triple diamond just because it took me a year and a half to get to Ruby. If you are still within the timeline of you getting your $500 Ruby bonus, push for that big time. If you don't hit it, guess what? You are going to have a chance at bigger and better bonuses whenever you don't quit in this business, because there was no such thing as a Ruby bonus whenever I first started. Even if there was, clearly I would not have earned that Ruby bonus if it took me a year and a half to hit Ruby. So focus on the Ruby chart and your steps to success, because if you know how to fill out those 2 things right there, you can do anything in this business. I'm telling you, Ruby is the foundation of everything. Whenever you hit Ruby, your goal is Emerald. Guess how many rubies an Emerald has? 2. Guess how many rubies a diamond has? 3. Everything is made up of Ruby, and that's it. And by promoting to Ruby before July 31st, you're going to earn yourself 2,500 cruise points. But guess what? If you teach your team how to get to Ruby, every single personally enrolled distributor that you have that goes Ruby, you're also going to get 2,500 cruise points. That is huge, guys. Definitely take advantage of these point system that we have going on for the cruise right now. I went last year and it was flipping amazing. And I can tell you, like, the percentage of people on there, I want to say it was something crazy, like 74% of the people that were on that cruise ship were emeralds, rubies, and executives. Every single person has a chance at this cruise ship. I'm telling you guys, it is amazing. It is a game changer. Utilize this point system. It's going to be updated every single Sunday in your eSuite, so keep track of your points and double check. There could have been a glitch in the system that maybe you didn't get counted for some of your points for. So definitely keep track of your point system on your own as well. Lindsay, do you want to add anything about the cruise since you were by my side last year?
Mute myself here. Yeah, I just want to say that it was amazing and that I almost didn't go because I was scared to death. I was scared. This sounds really sad, but I was scared to leave my husband. We'd never been really apart. And so when I went, I bawled like a baby leaving him at the airport. But as soon as I immediately got with you guys and met up with y'all down in Florida, it was like I was home again. And we went on that boat and there was no work. They told us to leave work when we hopped on that boat, and that's what happened. We had a freaking ball. I mean, I can only imagine what this year is going to be, though. The ship is how many times bigger? Like
a lot.
Yeah. I'm so excited, and I just want everyone to get on there because seriously, I wasn't that excited about it last year, but I'm so glad that I went. It was a blast.
Me too.
We have lots of fun memories.
For sure. I loved it. So I want all of you guys to be in the running for that cruise. Every single one of you can do it. There's not a single person in the company right now that couldn't earn the cruise ship. But the amazing thing is there's people that you can sponsor into the business in June, and they're still going to have a shot at this cruise ship. There's people that you could sponsor in July that could still have a chance at this cruise ship. It is everybody's game, I'm telling you. Now, I want to know, by a show of hands, how many of you are pushing for Ruby this month? I want to see like every single flipping hand up right now. All of you can do it. Every single one of you can do it. Push for it big time. I have one little tip that I want to share with you guys before we kind of end this off. I say this a lot.
Do you see that? Did anybody else see what was going on there?
No, what?
You see Lindsay? Mike was dancing in the background. Glad I got the show. That was awesome.
I did
Thanks,
not
Mike.
see that. Bummer.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, shoot. I say this a lot in my business, and one of the things that I am extremely glad that I did, and that was signing up my spouse. I have built Derek to Double Diamond. Derek doesn't really do much with the business besides asking me at the end of the day how many loyal customers and distributors I have signed up, or following people on Instagram for me. So that's his job. And I'm so glad I did that by signing my spouse up in this business. So if you are pushing for Ruby and maybe you need somebody to be your executive, sign your spouse up and let your spouse be your executive, because here you're going to get a Ruby, but you're going to get a Ruby paycheck. Your spouse is going to get an executive paycheck. If you have one distributor and you need another distributor to go executive, sign your spouse up. If you know that you can sign up some loyal customers to throw underneath of your spouse to get that 120 in free product and to work towards getting him the $500 Ruby bonus. So maybe you're outside of your $500 Ruby bonus earnings. That doesn't mean that you can't sign your spouse up this month or the beginning of next month and work towards getting him the $500 bonus. So if you can do it, if you feel comfortable signing up customers and you know that you can do it, sign up your spouse. Take advantage of the opportunity of being able to double dip and get 2 paychecks. Because I'm telling you, it's nice a couple of years later down the line, whenever you are maybe sitting where I am and I'm getting a triple diamond paycheck and my husband is getting a double diamond paycheck, I'm able to double dip in that. So if you can double dip, definitely take advantage of it. That's all I really have for you guys tonight. Amber, Lindsay, and Crystal, I would love for each of you to just throw out a tip before we end this off.
I actually have one to start with because I've been thinking about this all night. So I want to remind you guys that you are not in this alone, that your uplines, your sidelines, and your downlines are in this with you. You can't do this alone. If anything, you need support from other people. So being on these Zooms, of course, are huge. I know we all, as leaders, leave energized from these. So I would hope that you guys take that away as well. But when stuff comes up, like tonight, Chrissy and I did a Zoom with one of our girls to help her, talk to a PDT. There's nothing more awesome than having that opportunity to share with your team, that they share with, they have this potential sitting there and they have leaders in the business that are pouring into them. So, not saying that we have to do a Zoom for every PDT you have, but by no means, please don't. But, when you need help, know that we're all here for you guys. Between posting on team pages and reaching out for, jumping on a call whenever you have, questions with I say a blue personality that needs all of their questions answered. So, just remember that, guys, you're not doing this by yourself. So next.
Am I unmuted? Yes. I have a tip. If you're not good at working your social media account, you can get better because you have friends like Chrissy and Amber and Crystal to help you do that. So I harass them every day. But my tip for everyone probably would be, when I started, I didn't start for 6 months when I got my kit. I didn't really look into things for like 6 months. I was just signing loyal customers to give them hair, skin, and nail vitamins because I owned a salon and that's what I'd seen worked, and I hadn't tried anything at that point. So that's all I knew. And I wasn't interested in the company at that point because I wasn't involved. So stay connected. I know we've all said it. We're all here. Crystal just said it. We're all here to help. But that was the link that I missed for 6 months. 6 months, had I had that link to stay connected with this team, who knows where I'd be, but I'm certainly not letting that slow me down. And a lot of times people think, well, I'm just a distributor. No, you're not. You're a distributor, and you should be very proud of that, because this company supports you no matter what rank you are. We're super proud of you, and we're all equal. So don't think that just because you're a distributor, you're just a distributor. Be proud of that, and know that when you hit ambassador, you're going to be an ambassador just like you are a distributor, and you're that same person who's just done the steps to success just quite a few more times than you did when you were a distributor. So keep on rocking it. Stay enthusiastic and positive, and share your passion with others, and let this be a blessing to yourself, because when you are able to bless people with this, you have no idea how good that'll make you feel inside. It's just, to me, one of the greatest things that's happened to my life, other than getting married to Mike. But that's my tip for you guys, and I'm so glad y'all could join us tonight.
I have to agree with Lindsay 110% when it comes to staying connected. The team pages, to me, are crucial. The people that you constantly see are the people that you constantly see promoting. It's just the way it is. When you're connected with your team, when you're encouraging your team, it just does something to you, because it also encourages you, and you're able to create those relationships. So I agree with that 110%. I think if you are not active on your team page, get active. You're the only person holding yourself back. But my tip would be to run your auto ship. I know that in the beginning is very, very hard for a lot of people, and I get it. But I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and I have some incredible people on my team. But the ones that do not run their auto ships, and the ones that are not actively using the products, they're not selling the products, and they're not signing people. They're not promoting. If you are not using the products, and I don't mean taking a selfie holding a product, I mean literally every night cleansing your face with a cleanser, taking your greens, taking your hair, skin, and nails. If you're not using them and you don't feel the results, and you can't truthfully tell someone what it can do for you and what you're seeing it do for other people, you're not going to sell it. You've got to be a product of the product. So for me, that's huge. And that's what I see so much of, people having a hard time with. So even if you can't run an 80 BV auto ship, run a 30 BV auto ship. Order one product at least a month. And when your paycheck goes up, order 2 products. Do what you have to do to ensure that you're using the products, so that you can truthfully share with people what they can do.
Amen. Love it, ladies. All right. I think that's all for us tonight. I think we pretty well hit the nail on the head for that one. So big thanks to you guys, for all of you who jumped on. And I want each of you, whether you have one distributor underneath of you or 5 or 10 or whatever, stress the importance of these things to them. Stress the importance of the Zooms and getting on the family call and going to local meetings, how crucial these are for their business. And I want each of you to realize how important they are for your business too, because I know for a fact I wouldn't be here today if I did not attend meetings or listen to calls or go to corporate events. They are so important in my business. So definitely take that and just remember it. They're so important to our business. You're going to feel so alone if you are not connecting yourself to the team. And you're going to connect yourself to the team by doing these things tonight. So big kudos to all of you for hopping on. We love seeing all of your faces, and we will see you guys all soon. Good night.